Those 4 words followed her like a shadow. Not once. Not twice. But her entire life. When she was 8 years old, standing outside a hospital ward where her dad took his last breath, someone muttered it. When she wore the same tatty school uniform for 3 years running, someone sniggered and said it. When she said she wanted to start her own business one day, the whole classroom chimed in with it. You'll never make it. Her name was Aisha, and nobody believed in her. She grew up in a council flat so cramped that when it rained, water dripped through the cracked ceiling and plopped into old plastic buckets her mum put out on the lino floor. The walls were damp and stained. The electrics flickered on and off like they couldn't be bothered. But the hardest part of her childhood wasn't the leaking roof. It was the silence. The silence at tea time when there wasn't enough food to go round. The silence in class when nobody picked her for group work. The silence inside her chest when she swallowed her tears. Her dad had been a factory hand. Honest. Hard graft every day. But illness doesn't care about being decent. Hospital bills mounted up. Debts piled on. And one night, as machines beeped around him, he looked at his daughter and whispered, "Love, study hard. One day, you'll change everything." He passed the next morning. Aisha was 8. At 9, she learned what proper skint felt like. At 10, she learned what pity looked like. At 11, she learned what humiliation sounded like. In school, her classmates had shiny new trainers. She had hammer-downs patched with duct tape. When it rained, water squelched inside them. Some kids noticed. "Mind out," one girl smirked. "Her shoes are having a cry as well." The class sniggered. Aisha didn't answer. But from that day, she stopped putting her hand up in lessons. Not because she didn't know the answers, but because she was sick of the laughter. Her mum cleaned 3 different houses, scrubbing floors, washing pots, ironing shirts. She left before first light and got back long after dark. Hands red and cracked from bleach and freezing water. Some nights, Aisha would rub her mum's hands in silence. "Mum," she asked quietly once, "are we poor?" Her mum stopped. Then she gave a small smile. "No, pet. We're just early in our success story." Aisha didn't quite get it. But she never forgot it. Years went by. Secondary school brought bigger textbooks and bigger bills. The headteacher called her in one afternoon. "Your fees haven't been paid. If they're not sorted in 7 days, you can't sit your exams." 7 days. 7 days to find money they didn't have. She walked home slowly. Each step felt like a countdown. That night, she overheard family in the next room. "Pull her out of school. She's a lass. Throwing money down the drain. Get her married young. One less mouth to feed." Burden. The word cut deeper than hunger ever could. She went to her room and cried, not loud, not dramatic. Just the quiet sort where your chest aches. Then something flipped inside her. For the first time, she felt proper anger. Not at her mum. Not at life. But at the idea that her future had already been decided by everyone else. Next morning, before dawn, she went looking for work. Shop after shop turned her away. "You're too young. Come back when you're older." No vacancies. Finally, an old bloke who ran a small print shop looked at her. "Why'd you need a job, lass?" She told him straight. "I need to pay my school fees." He stared for a long moment. Then said, "Start tomorrow." That little job changed everything. She worked before school and after. Wiping ink off machines. Stacking paper. Lifting boxes too heavy for her. She revised during lunch breaks. Memorized facts on the bus standing room only. Went over equations under street lamps when the power cut out. And on results day, the whole schoolyard was buzzing. Kids crowded round the notice board. Aisha hung back. She didn't dare hope. Then the whispers started. "No way. Check it again. Impossible." Her heart hammered as she edged closer. Right at the top of the list. Aisha Khan, first place. Whole area topper. For a second, the world stopped. The same kids who'd mocked her now gawped. Teachers who'd ignored her suddenly praised her. But Aisha didn't feel proud. She felt relieved. Because this was only the start. A big national scholarship opened for the top university. Thousands applied. She wrote her personal statement at 2 a.m., writing about candlelit evenings, unpaid bills, quiet tears, and a promise to her dad. Weeks later, the email came. "Congratulations. You've been selected." Her mum dropped to her knees and sobbed. Neighbors who'd once muttered now cheered loudly. But uni was a different fight. Students there spoke posh, fluent English. They carried confidence like it was designer gear. In her first presentation, her voice shook. Someone smirked at her accent. That night, she locked herself in the dorm toilet and cried. For a moment, she nearly packed it in. But then she remembered the buckets catching rainwater. She remembered her dad's last words. She remembered burden. And she made a decision. If she didn't fit in, she'd bloody well make her own place. She practiced speaking every night in front of the mirror. Recorded herself. Fixed her mistakes. Got better. By second year, she wasn't just getting by. She was watching. Noticing how local craftspeople back home made gorgeous handmade things. But earned next to nothing because nobody saw them. So she started small. An Instagram page. A simple logo. 5 products. Orders trickled in. Sometimes none for a week. But she didn't jack it in. She learned marketing online for free. Stayed up till 3 a.m. answering DMs. Packed parcels herself. Reinvested every penny. Her mates went clubbing. She went to the post office. After graduation, firms offered safe jobs. Everyone said, "Take it, love." She said no. She rented a tiny unit with peeling paint and a fan that rattled. The first year was brutal. A supplier ripped her off. A delivery got ruined. A big order cancelled last minute. She sat alone one night, lights off. Maybe they were right. Maybe it wasn't for her. Her phone pinged. A message from a woman in the village who made things for her. "Thanks to this money, my girl's going to school now. Cheers." Aisha stared into the dark. Then she switched the lights back on. And cracked on harder. She sharpened the branding. Told the real stories behind every piece. Her posts started going viral. Orders flooded in. Within 3 years, the brand was known nationwide. Within 5, a big international chain offered a deal. The signing was in a posh hotel. As she held the pen, she remembered counting coppers for exam fees. TV interviews followed. One presenter asked, "What's your message to the doubters?" She smiled, dead calm. "Cheers, mate. Your doubt taught me how to handle pressure." Her story spread worldwide. But her biggest win wasn't the money. It was the difference. She set up training centers for women. Funded girls through school. Went back to her old school as guest of honor. Standing on the same stage where laughter once rang, she said, "If someone tells you you can't, smile. And keep grafting in silence." The hall erupted in applause. Cameras flashed outside. But inside, she felt something deeper. Peace. One evening, she stood on the balcony of her new head office. Looking out over city lights brighter than she'd ever dreamed. Her mum stood next to her. "Mum," she whispered, "remember when you said we were just early in our success story?" Her mum smiled. "Yeah, love." Aisha gazed at the skyline. "I reckon, this is only the beginning." Because nobody believed in her. But she believed in herself when it mattered most. And that belief was louder than doubt. Stronger than being skint. More powerful than fear. And in the end, the world that once ignored her stood up to listen.